Instant Pot Spanish rice. You need a pound of ground meat. Ground beef is what I have. And you might want to do your olive oil first. I just do mine however I think. So I just added the meat, and since it's 90-10, I'm going to just take a little bit of oil. It doesn't necessarily have to be olive oil. You just need very little. You're going to need a bunch of different seasonings and herbs. So on this plate I have already cut up 4 cloves of garlic. You can also use minced garlic. I have a half a bell pepper. And I have about half of a whole onion. You can add more onion and bell pepper if you would like. This is just what I had, so this is what I'm going to use. And then chop it together. Now the original recipe that my family has came from my Aunt Carolyn, and I called her this morning and I asked her how to make it, and she basically told me the general idea, and she said that you can add or take away what you want. So I have some garlic powder. If you want measurements, I would say start with about a teaspoon. I have onion powder. Same thing with that, about a teaspoon. Now this recipe calls for, she told me to put oregano, and I seen a recipe that had rosemary and basil. So I'm just going to add a little bit of Italian seasoning because I don't have every little thing that they asked for. And it just helps with the seasoning of the meat. Turmeric. I'm just going to add about a half a teaspoon of turmeric. Maybe you could use a whole teaspoon. Red pepper flakes, just because we like ours on a little bit on the spicy side. So I'm going to add that. And then I have some seasoned salt. Seasoning salt. I'm going to put that in there. And then it calls for turmeric and chili powder. I'm just going to put maybe a dash of them both. I don't want a real strong flavor. And so I'm going to get in there and stir it up. Chop it really well. So you're going to make this mix. I was told to make the hamburger mix before I add the rice. And so I'm just going to do it all in one pot since I love my Instant Pot so much. And then I'm going to do it under pressure so it doesn't have to be cooked all the way because it's going to cook anyway. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more seasoned salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. And then I'm going to add black pepper. I just like my meat to be tasteful. And also on our menu tonight is going to be refried beans that I'm going to make, and chicken tacos. And then I add the black pepper last because I don't want it to be too much. I added those red pepper flakes. I'm going to get in there with some black pepper. Okay. And then I was told to make this kind of juicy. so that when the rice gets in there, it has room to swell up and everything. I have 2 cups of minute rice, or instant rice, whatever one is fine. Okay, so that hamburger's half cooked down. And so I'm going to add some diced tomatoes. You can use whole tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, uncanned tomatoes, whatever kind you have. I just have what I have on hand. So I'm just going to measure by eye. This is a whole big can. So this can is about 28 ounces. I'm going to start off with half because I have to add sauce too. And it's going to have liquid in it and everything. And I'm going to go in there and stir it up. And I don't want too much tomato. That looks good. And then I have a 29 ounce can of tomato sauce. No salt added. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and go in with the whole thing of sauce. You see the juices coming up from the tomatoes and everything. And then after you add the tomato sauce, you want to go ahead and, I kind of sweeten it up. She told me to put a little something sweet in there, so I choose to use brown sugar. We don't eat white sugar, so I'm just going to add some brown sugar. You can use sweetener, honey, regular sugar, whatever that you want that's sweet. And after you add the sweetener, take a taste. So I'm going to go in there with all the liquid. Stir it in. I'm going to take a taste. Okay. You need just a little bit more sweetener, and then I'm going to season again. And then everything's not going to be cooked all the way because it's the Instapot and it's going to have to cook under pressure. Take a taste. It's still a little bit tangy. I don't like tomato taste, so I'm going to go ahead and I would say I used start out with about a tablespoon of your sugar. Brown sugar's not that sweet, so that's probably why I came out with a little bit more. And I'm going to go back in on top of the tomato sauce and add some more garlic powder just for the sauce, onion powder, and then you taste for your salt. If you need more salt, add more salt. I did use no salt added tomato products, so I'm going to go ahead and add some salt to mine, sea salt. I had to move away some of that pepper. Woo! And I'm going to continue to stir it. You can take a taste. Okay. Oh yeah. It's really good. Just a little bit more salt. And then what I'm going to do is add the rest of my tomatoes. So what I have is 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes, 29-ounce can of tomato sauce. Okay. And then you can season the taste. I'm just going by my taste and adding more of the oregano mixture. Just a tad bit more salt. And then give it a good stir. Okay. And then if you like yours a little bit drier, then you'll need to remember, since it's under pressure, you're going to need at least 2 cups of liquid if you're using 2 cups of rice. So I have, that's good. I have 2 cups of white rice. Before I add the white rice, I'm going to turn it off saute. So there's 1 cup. There's 2 cups. Okay. Stir. And then the regular recipe says that this is supposed to soak up all the flavor from the meat and the juices in the tomato. She says that you're just supposed to have it really juicy. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a bit of water. Let me see if I can tell you how much water it is. And about a 1/4 cup. So what I did, I had a minced garlic, but I didn't have any left, and it was just in there. So I put just a little tab of water in there, and that's what I'm going to put in my dish, because we want ours juicy. We don't want it dry. Okay, and so just remember, this is the first time that I made this. Wish me luck. The device that I have is going to make me post this one, and then I'll have to come back with part 2. So you'll see what it is when we come back with part 2. I'm going to cover this up, and I'm going to put it on pressure and let it come up to pressure. I'm going to put it on 20 minutes. And then I'm going to go ahead with my other food, and then I'm going to come back and tell you what I think and see if we need to pressurize it more. But let's go ahead and go. It's ready.